I first became interested in music as a young boy when I found a recording of Beethoven's Symphony No. 6 in my father's record collection, and I fell in love. Beethoven's Symphony No. 6 is about the feelings invoked by being out in nature. I stayed true to Beethoven and other classical composers up through high school. Then I went to the Peabody Music Conservatory in Baltimore. The Peabody was indeed a conservative conservatory, and they taught music in the tradition of the late 1800s. However, the faction of the student body that I fell in with was anything but conservative, and we were soon found to be engaging in all sorts of unauthorized extracurricular activities. One of these unauthorized extracurricular activities was known as music appreciation. Music appreciation took place every Friday night in my buddy Big Nose's dorm room, and every student who attended would bring a different kind of recording for everyone to listen to, and we would play them all regardless of style or genre. Everyone listened in rapt silence as the program went from Brahms to Motown to Pink Floyd, just as for an instance. Our first lesson in music school was that good music was where you found it. This revitalized my purpose to become a composer, and I postulated a music drawn from a large palette of styles and genres. I decided to change my minor from piano to composition, and this is when I met the composition department at the school. One composition professor was famous for saying that jazz would never last. He obviously had not stepped out of the conservatory for some time, since jazz was still thriving in many of the clubs in Baltimore. This professor said I wasn't advanced enough even for a minor in composition. The other professor said he would take me as a student, however, and so we started lessons. This was when I learned that there was a new ism afoot. It was atonalism. This was music by the numbers, lots of them. The chord and harmony were verboten. I felt that there were still chords that hadn't been heard, not because they were new chords, but because they hadn't been used in very many different musical contexts. I withdrew from the composition department and went underground, so to speak, and finished school as a performance major. I returned to Los Angeles and played in many different groups, from symphony orchestras to modern music groups. We worked through all the latest isms: Impressionism, Expressionism, Modernism, Postmodernism, Postclassicism, Neoclassicism, Primitivism, Surrealism, Minimalism, New Ageism, New Waveism, Punkism, Discoism, Catechism, all the while I was searching for my musical voice. Finally I found it. Seated one day at the organ, I was weary and ill at ease, and my fingers wandered idly over the noisy keys. I knew not what I was playing or what I was dreaming then, but I struck one chord of music like the sound of a great Amen. It flooded the crimson twilight like the close of an angel's psalm, and it lay on my fevered spirit with a touch of infinite calm. It quieted pain and sorrow like love overcoming strife. It seemed the harmonious echo from our discordant life. It linked all perplexed meanings into one perfect piece, and trembled away into silence, as if it were loath to cease.